Wanna go to the shop, bud? Let's go. Got some things to do today. What's going on, Cass? Walk us through it.
I've stepped away from the exhaust because I was getting a little ahead of myself. It looks like we're going to be taking off the heat wrap on the exhaust. I already took a bit off here, and it's obviously put in a lot of work over the last couple of years.
This is for mischief?
Yep. So we're going to be shining it up. I'm going to be using an SOS pad. You can get it from your local grocery store, department store, hardware store, big box office store, box top. Some warm water. I'm wearing gloves just because I got my nails done yesterday. So
Me too.
yeah, safety first for these guys.
We also have some repacking to do. We're gonna repack all of this and rebuild it nice. We have some heat spray to put on this, all sorts of good stuff, but we have a lot more, and this is all from Dirty Life. Dirty Life hooked us up with a whole whack of stuff.
Kyle's had a very Merry Christmas so far.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Santa to show up.
Speaking of which, Merry Christmas, everyone. What do we got?
We've got some high temp silicone coating. That's what we're going to be spraying on top of the heat wrap that we're going to be reapplying to the outside of the exhaust later, which is actually this stuff.
Right there.
We're going to be using these stainless steel locking ties to attach them.
Yep.
Last time it took 4 sets of hands. We've only got 3, and one of them's me, so we're going to see how this goes. But
There's
got those.
all the repacking for the exhaust, which you've done to yours, Mama Bear, but it's time to do mine.
And then this is where I'm going to start guessing. Is all for the secondary clutch.
Yeah, so we have an Stm Secondary Clutch. We've been waiting a long time for that.
One piece
COVID
of
has
billet.
made things a little difficult, but that's a special STM. So as you know, on the Outlander, we have a QSC primary. So what Adam at QSC does is he gets those STM secondary clutches and he tunes them for the QSC for my particular scenario. So Dirty Life managed to get all of this for us, and we're going to install that today. That's an air filter.
Got a new belt because yours was chewed up.
Can you grab it? Are you tall enough? We got every penny out of this.
Even I know this is really bad. Like, look at this.
That's no good, eh?
Would you just look at it?
Would you just look at that?
Like hopping all over the place. So got one of them.
We've got Evo's badass belt. And one last thing.
The spring?
That's for the secondary. Don't worry about that.
I knew that. And then Demon Power Sport axles.
So she's had a very rough 3,000 plus kilometers, and those axles are actually still holding up very well. I have 2 of them that are very tired. When you pull them out, they literally just kind of flop over. The boots are good, the axles are still holding and they're doing well, but those are going to be my backup axles, and we're going to have them in a trailer in case we ever actually get to an event ever, and when the world isn't on fire.
Sweet.
So we have full Demon axles, STM secondary, new filter and belt, packing, all the exhaust stuff that we need to do, and that is all thanks to Dirty Life. A very Merry Christmas to us. So thanks Dirty Life for that. We're gonna get to work here, and Cass is gonna show us how this exhaust gets done. We also have Drake here helping out. He's gonna learn to be camera guy extraordinaire. Yeah.
Absolutely. I came dressed to feel the Mainville Park today.
Yeah, looking good. It's already got speed holes.
Yeah, oh, speed holes,
Yeah.
sock arms.
I've
Phone
never
pocket.
seen that before. You want to explain that?
So, this used to be a dad's old hunting jacket. And he used to always complain that wiping his snotty nose on his jacket made his nose all raw. So, mom stitched on a wool sock.
It's literally
so
a
that it's
sock.
nice and soft for wiping your snotty nose when you're out in the bush.
Sick.
It's perfect. Diesel obviously loves it.
Yeah, look,
Diesel's ready for business.
he's got his business tie on.
I love when it's crooked. It looks like he's had a hard day at work.
What did you just say?
Feels like I'm doing dishes in a garage.
I offered to do this job, just so you know.
I know.
For some reason, I definitely heard it sounds like I feel like I'm doing dishes with no bra.
Well, you'll never know. Watch and find out. No, I'm just kidding.
She's scrubbing away, getting that cleaned up.
I'll
I got
show you what it
the
looks
other
like.
pipes prepped for her.
I'll show you what it looks like so far.
She's gonna give her the wipe down. She's making progress. My pipes were way worse than hers.
Not bad.
Yeah, definitely. Just get all that baked stuff off there, and
Yeah, that's the problem. It's all mud and rust. Like you could see, I made it through here, but down here it's still all that rust.
yeah.
That's what the SOS.
Well, it's not really rust. It's just that baked on mud that got underneath the heat wrap.
Yeah.
So, but this pipe has been on like, I would say 7 or 8 months longer than yours was, and I'm
Yeah.
very, very aggressive. And Drake's working away on the rear end here,
Getting there. Wheels
So-
off.
which
Jack
kind
stands
of works out because by the time we actually get these rear demon axles in, it'll be nice and wide open for us to actually put the exhaust on. Another thing we got to check out is I have a leak. I'm pretty sure it's a timing chain port, but we're gonna have to pull that off and see what's going on there. Spiffied up.
That is good. Yeah.
So that's ready to get sprayed with the heat spray on the pipe. Repack those, which is my next job. Cass did fantastic on this. There's just 2 more little pipes to do over there. Drake's been busy lining up all of the rear end parts with the new demon axles. Thanks again, Dirty Life, for that.
So OCD will be happy.
The rear end is locked and there's stickers on it, so Drake...
No, I got both the lug nut studs are even in the same spot.
Oh,
Come on now.
you're hired.
You put the valve stem in the right spot and the wheels will never change.
I'm giving you a pay raise. I'm doubling your wages.
From 0 to
To 0. So I figured out what's going on with this leak right here, and it's sorted out. So that's actually like a tensioner for your chain. It works with all of that going on. It's not as big of a deal as I thought it was, so that's sorted out. So we have some of this high temp silicone coating. Last time we only put this on the wrap itself, but it turns out it's good for any hot surface up to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm actually going to I prepped all of this already. Cass has it all clean, and we're going to spray all of this just to try to keep as much temperatures down, and it'll make more sense as to why later. So we've got that drying. Looks pretty slick actually. And then we'll put the wrap on top of that and make sure all the heat's going to the right places instead of melting plastics and stuff. I shouldn't have an issue at all, but I'm actually removing some of the heat tray that the OEM has, just because I have all of the aftermarket headers and stuff from RJ and Dirty Life and all that going on. So I had to do some chopping, and now it all rattles. I tried to save it. I wasn't supposed to in the original installation, but I'm going to try something a little different. And while that dries, basically got a pick crew going on today. Drake's helping out with taking some beauties. And we got to put in a twin air filter. I got this one from Can-Am a while back, and I believe Trevor also sells these. So have a look for those. I'm going to give this thing a shot. I haven't tried one yet. I stuck to OEM for the longest time, but the paper filters, the design is, I don't know, not adequate in my opinion. So we'll get that in. Got to finish up those 2 pipes, and away we go. We got all the pipes sprayed. I got some outside, actually still I have to flip over and do. But while we're waiting on that, before we actually wrap the exhaust, we have to put on that secondary and eat some snacks.
Snacks first.
That we definitely didn't make. You can tell it was with love and affection. Thanks for the snacks.
or hatred.
Yeah. Not on camera, Cass. So while we're at it, we're gonna rip off that secondary. I'm pretty sure the helix is really, really tired behind there, so it's really good timing. And mess with some clutching. Clean that guy up. Really excited for this one. Then we can cover that up and get that done, because once we have the exhaust wrapped and installed, it's pretty much just do the front axles and we're done. And with the video editing magic, good to go. There is our STM secondary. So this is made by STM, okay? And we bought it through Dirty Life, but Adam from QSC, the owner and creator of this clutch, takes the STM secondary and tunes it to pair with the QSC. So you're going to see many versions of STM clutching. This one specifically was tuned for this clutch. And I've been very, very happy with this clutch. So we have it installed. Basically, there's some things you have to do. When you get it from QSC, he's going to send you a spring and shims and everything like that to fine tune this. So we basically had to unbolt this cap on the bench over there, and then we put the spring inside, and then there's a puller, which is way over here. This is a puller and a spring compressor, and you basically compress that cap all the way down with the spring inside it, and then you install these. We put some blue Loctite on there and follow the torque specs to a T. Not exactly, but close enough. This one, on the other hand, I take very, very seriously. It is also Loctited and right down to the inch pound, so that's all good. We were a little concerned about some belt deflection issues here, but we called STM and they're very happy with that. This is the Evo belt that Dirty Life sold us, and it's basically for a Maverick, but anyone who owns a Renegade or Outlander knows that the Maverick belts are always better for these machines. So very happy with this installation. Next up is to actually install the exhaust. As you can see, it's very missing. We have some new exhaust seals. That's very important. If you're ever doing this job, there's a seal, a gasket in there. And not only do you need to make sure that it's not in there so you don't double up on the next one, but make sure you put new ones in while you're already doing this job. Obviously, this is a job that you don't want to be doing every weekend, so we have that seat cleaned out. We have brand new seals to go in there. We install the exhaust. I'm removing this portion of the heat shield just because of the big RJWC headers. It didn't allow for a lot of this heat shield. I tried customizing it, but all it does is make a racket. So that's why we're doing all of the heat treatment and wrap and everything else, and then reinstall all the way out. And then it's time to button this whole thing up, because that's it. We just have to do the front demon axles. And we're done. Okay, so we've got our pipe all finished up. It's pretty sharp, eh? It's gonna get covered by wrap, but we gotta repack it. I don't know if you can feel this through the camera, but that's not what packing is supposed to be like. I was expecting, like Cass's, for it to be burnt and basically in pieces. This is like one soggy disaster. Either I play in a lot more water or I'm running a lot more cool than Cass is. Because this is, well, it's gross. So we'll repack that. If you want to know more about this process, Cass has a great video on her playlist with the Kodiak on how to properly do this, but for today's sake, we have a lot going on, so we're just going to pack this up and start wrapping this beast. You rating the apple juice?
Oh, I'm refilling the apple juice.
So, a little later in the day, but we've got this repacked, everything tightened up, cleaned up. Very happy with that. Obviously, it's painted as you know. It's time to get into the wrap. One tip I was suggested is to actually take your wrap and basically soak it. Makes it more malleable, apparently. So, I'm gonna try that out. It just makes installation a lot easier from what I hear. And obviously when we run the exhaust, it'll just dry it up in what, a minute? It'll probably be a smoke show, but yeah. Let's have an apple juice break and let that get wet. So fast forward a bit. We have very tired hands, but I do have to say that soaking the exhaust wrap.
You put your knee in the wet rag.
Soaking the exhaust wrap was the best thing we ever did. And I learned that because of the Hoonigan YouTube channel, so.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I was not at all concerned. I was like, oh, oops.
Oops. So we got all of that wrapped, and it is tight. Very happy with that. We got that one obviously in the 2 pieces that go from head to head and the Y pipe. So we got all that done. And believe it or not, the hard part is actually getting these 2 pipes on at the same time, because you can't just put one and then the other. They have to like mate. I knew you would. I knew it. The word mate. Mating.
Unless it's the Australian version. Might.
Mate?
Hey, might.
I don't know. Might? Mike?
I don't know. I suck at accent.
So, some adjustments and struggles, eh? It's the way of the aftermarket. Obviously you saw the clutch. The exhaust is on. Making it all line up nice. The plastic that's going to be right here, we're putting heat tape on the inside. So there's like lots of redundancies just to make sure nothing warps. We got everything lined up, everything wrapped as best as we could. Very happy with that. At this point, we basically just need to make sure there's no exhaust leaks. So it's a matter of turning it on now. Yeah, cooking off all the water on the heat wrap. That'll dry it up quick. Look at it.
So now we gotta stick our fingers back in that hot spot on that back.
No, now we're gonna go eat supper. Give that a while.
I think that front pipe still got a lot of WD-40 on it too, from these nuts.
There's a bit of that going on. So, we did some testing. We cranked it down just a little bit more. We let it get a little warm. Now it's time to put this cover back on. I just cleaned it out. I have the seal somewhere. I already forgot. Oh, it's over there. I gotta put just a bit of grease on the seal, not too much. And that'll just liven it up a little bit. Cover this beautiful chunk of billet up. And he's gonna start getting axles in, and I'm gonna start putting all this together. I have to put some heat tape on a few spots just to make sure heat's not going to warp or do anything funny. And button this girl up. Cass is off inside making the supper. She's the nicest lady in the world. I'm very excited about all this. We're getting real close to making mischief great again. What would you screw up now?
I didn't screw anything up. I'm fixing.
Sure.
You hit it with the hammer.
Yeah, I did. So he's getting the front end axles done. And we're just getting all of that situated. He's got one bolt. That definitely wasn't me that smashed it too hard. And that's getting sorted out. On this side, I've got the cover back on. I'm putting some heat tape in spots. Even though this thing is like ceramic painted and heat wrapped, there's still some parts that like are exposed just because you have to get these two pipes together and stuff like that. So all those parts, I'm just trying to heat tape the best I can on all the parts that are near it. The best insulator is of course an air gap, so I think we're going to be quite all right. Considering a lot of these parts OEM have been close and haven't had any issues yet, I think we'll be just fine. And we're actually solving a major issue. Can-Am, sometimes if you ride hard enough, you can actually get skag in this tunnel. Normally there's a whole tunnel all the way across. and it sits on your exhaust and eventually catches fire. So I've seen it plenty of times where people had to put out those fires. I got rid of that cage and I'm just going to heat shield and everything else. So I've seen this successfully done. We'll see how it works out for me. I have a bunch of other little itty bitty things to button up, put my floorboard back on, that kind of stuff. And around then I might, depending how his bolt goes, that I definitely didn't screw up, I should be helping do this side, and the machine is done. Ta-da! There it is. I know we skipped some time, but it was running late. We've been here at this pretty well all day. We got a lot done. Big thanks to Drake. Thanks, dude. Cass, obviously. She's not here right now. She's chilling out. She made us supper and the whole bit. But we had to get out here and just wrap her up. What did we do today? I'm not even sure anymore. Brand new Demon axles. Stm Secondary. We refitted the entire RJWC exhaust. Cleaned, scrubbed it, painted it, wrapped it. Redid the packing. Scrubbed her down. Beautiful work. And then obviously I had to touch up all the plastics and stuff like that. Am I missing something?
Full tin shield revamp.
Right, and the filter, air filter, which was 2 seconds, let's be real.
Plastic thing that you said was messed up from like a year ago.
Oh yeah. I needed like, anyway, misaligned plastic, very hard to get this one notch under here, but we got it. And just got her back together in general. The only thing she needs now is a little bit of muck off and a ride. I wanted to test ride this right after and put it in this video, but my neighbor across the street and a lot of these folks have very young children and I don't feel like waking them up. I think that would be rude. So, next video, interesting. Anyway, next video, we're taking this thing out. We're gonna go for a ride. I don't know where or what. It's snowing right now, but it's not a lot of snow, so we should be just fine in this beast. And we have to break in a belt. I don't think that's the best time to do it, but we are gonna do it. But she is clean. Really happy with the work we did. By the way, wetting the exhaust wrap, I have to say it again, the most genius thing I'd ever stumbled upon on YouTube. It's not often you get great advice on YouTube, but that one was so good. And obviously when you turn the bike on, when we were testing for exhaust leaks, the wrap was dry immediately. So it dried really, really tight. So super happy. Couldn't have gotten any better. A lot of this is thanks to Dirty Life. Couldn't do any of this stuff without him. So big thank you to dirtylife.ca. If you guys have any questions about any of the products that we put on here, please ask me or give them a call and we will sort you out. But for now, we're signing off. See you guys later.